Here's my final list of predictions for the 1960 Academy Awards. The abbreviations are in the bottom. Best Director. This is one of the safest locks of the ceremony. He has the overdue narrative, he's been a champion of shooting on films, of cinemas, as well as directing an impressive film of the year. After the DGA win, he cemented himself as the winner of the year. It's Christopher Nolan. Best Actress. Now this is a race of anemic proportions. Although there's a lot of buzz for a Sandra Hüller upset and whether or not a vote split could happen, but I don't think so. It's a race between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone, both of whom won Golden Globes. On the one end we have the very showy performance by Emma Stone, who won the BAFTA and the Critics' Choice. However, BAFTA didn't like Killers of the Flower Moon that much, so Lily Gladstone was nominated there. And then you have the very important SAG Awards, the SAG Award that Lily Gladstone won. Although Emma Stone was nominated, Poor Things was not nominated for Ensemble. So SAG resonates a lot with the Academy, and sometimes it alternates on which precursor has the most weight to it. For instance, last year we had Austin Butler and Cate Blanchett, who garnered a lot of momentum, and then we saw Michelle Yeoh and Brendan Fraser win at the SAG Awards. Granted, Lily Gladstone is neither. Lily has a more compelling narrative though, being the first Native American to potentially win leading actress, although Emma Stone, she has won before. Emma Stone is a much more prevalent main role, while Gladstone is a more subtle performance. Oscar voting closed on the 27th of February, a few days after the SAG Awards, so maybe Gladstone's surge could sway the voters in her direction. Maybe, maybe not. This is one of the most exciting races this season. It's close, but I'm predicting Lily Gladstone. Best Actor. It's a race here as well, but not as close as Actress. I wondered if Giamatti would win SAG. I actually anticipated it. However, Cillian Murphy took that one, so I'm going with Cillian Murphy. Best Supporting Actress, easy win, Da'Vine Joy Randolph. She has been sweeping throughout the season, picking up all these awards, the BAFTA and the SAG for instance. It's been so obvious she's going to win. Best Supporting Actor, very similar position here, Robert Downey Jr. Best Adapted Screenplay. Usually we can use the WGA award to find out which is the precursor favorite. However, the WGA award is a month after the Oscars, so it doesn't help, but American Fiction's rise is impressive, especially how surprising it was that American Fiction won the BAFTA. It garners up all these screenplay awards and it's a very screenplay driven film, but I wonder, with the possibility of Greta Gerwig being snubbed in director, could garner some momentum in adapted and could shock us tremendously with a win here. I don't necessarily agree with that. I know the safe bet is American Fiction or Oppenheimer, but I'm going on a limb here that the amount of attention the snub got will work to its favor in this category and land her first Oscar. I know it's a bold gamble, but I'm trying it. Best Original Screenplay. Now this is a fun one. The Holdovers used to be my number one spot. However, Anatomy of a Fall has been gaining a lot of momentum. It's been gaining a lot of these screenplay awards, so maybe the very tight and solid screenplay of Anatomy of a Fall could lead to victory. Best Cinematography. Out of these five, the one with the highest probability is also the one I'm predicting here, Oppenheimer. I could see a Poor Things upset here if that one garners up a lot of the tech awards, but for now I've got Oppenheimer. I think the cinematographer Hoyte van Hoytema actually began his career here in Norway with a film called Syd Neger, which is quite crazy, and now he's Nolan's main man. Best Costume Design, I have Barbie here. I know that a lot of people are predicting Poor Things to take this one, but I can see the race being very, very close. In the Costumers Guild Awards, they both took home awards in their own categories, so I think that the sheer amount of creative costumes displaying various historic Barbie costumes might take this one. Best Film Editing, Oppenheimer has been in talks for this for many months, way before it was the frontrunner for Best Picture. It recently won the BAFTA. I think it's going to take a lot of techies, this one included. Makeup and Hair. Maestro won 2 awards at the Makeup and Hairstylist Guild Awards, where it competed against Poor Things, which I consider to be the biggest threat in this category. I'm unsure about this category, but all the makeup they did for Bradley Cooper, it's very impressive. I think Maestro will take it. Best Production Design, easy contest, Poor Things. Best Original Score, also easy, Oppenheimer. Best original song, I kind of wish we just give the Oscar to Diane Warren right now, so we don't have to nominate her anymore. I mean, 15 nominations. Anyway, I think What Was I Made For will win. It has the most traction, even winning at the Grammys. I could see I'm Just Ken winning, but the better song is the one by Billie Eilish. So we're gonna see it again. Diane Warren will lose to Billie Eilish again, and I'm so ready for that reaction.
Billie Eilish.
Best sound, Zone of Interest has a lot of momentum right now, and it also won the BAFTA. However, is the Academy cool enough to let it win, or will it just go for the loudest movie? I'm unsure, but I think Oppenheimer will edge it out, even though the sound design for Zone of Interest is far superior. Best visual effects, since Dune was delayed to 2024, then this category doesn't have any frontrunners. It's a bit of a struggle. I could see several of these win the award. Godzilla has a great surge and an awesome word of mouth. It's the only film I haven't seen because Norway didn't release it. I could see the creator win this one. It could be very similar to the Ex Machina win, or when First Man won over some very big blockbusters. Also, don't rule out Napoleon. However, my vote goes for the creator. Best animated feature, now this is an exciting race. Spider-Verse won Critics' Choice and PGA. Boy and the Heron won the Globe and BAFTA. If we look at previous ceremonies, Wreck-It Ralph, which won PGA and lost to Brave, which has the same thing that Boy and the Heron has, Globe and BAFTA. Spider-Verse is a sequel, and it's also a part 1, which doesn't help. I know that Spider-Man is a very popular thing amongst the kids, and they usually vote for what the kids are watching. The previous film won, the next film could also win, and now they have the chance to award it to a highly artistic movie, which could be Miyazaki's final film. I've made a mistake before, in predicting the smaller film that is gaining a lot of traction, and then losing at the Oscars. I thought Cuba and the Two Strings would win after it won the BAFTA, and it was nominated twice at the Oscars. And I also predicted Klaus to prevail over Toy Story 4, seeing as it won 7 Annies and also won the BAFTA. I've done this mistake twice when predicting animated feature, and I'm fully prepared to do the same mistake again for the 3rd time. I'm gambling on The Boy and the Heron. Documentary feature, with the continued war in Ukraine and the death of Navalny, the subject of the documentary which won the last year, the arrows are pointing in one direction: 20 Days in Mariupol. It's won several critics awards. It won the DGA and the BAFTA, but it didn't win PGA. That one went to American Symphony, but American Symphony is not nominated. So the answer is easy: 20 Days in Mariupol. International feature. This is the easiest one of the ceremony. France did not submit Anatomy of a Fall. If France did, then we'd have a different conversation. Amongst the 5 nominees, only one film is nominated 5 times, including Best Picture and Best Director. Zone of Interest is the winner. Now let's look at the short films. I've seen every single one of them, and every year it's always hard to pinpoint which one will win, since we have little precursor awards and insight into the Academy to get the feel on where they land. For animated short, my favorite is 95 Senses, which is directed by the Napoleon Dynamite team. But for animated short, there is a tendency of short films with animals to win the category. We have a couple of them here. My least favorite film of the 5 nominees is War is Over, which has an animal in it, which I ironically think will win. Even though Letter to a Pig was more interesting and is my runner-up, I think that a very cutesy on-the-nose message in War is Over will resonate the most. It's technically impressive, it has music by Thomas Newman, John Lennon's son is one of the writers. It's a beloved song, I think it's going to win. Best documentary short, this one is a little bit trickier. I know that a lot of people are predicting the ABCs of book banning, but I think it's just so boring. I don't think the Academy will be emotionally engaged in it. I'm going with Nai Nai and Waipo, which is a bittersweet and lovely outlook on 2 grandmas. They are so silly, and you can watch these 2 banter or talk about their lives for a longer runtime. It's much more fun and heartwarming. The director Sean Wang got a lot of attention in January in the Sundance Film Festival with an upcoming film, which also won an award. So maybe all of that could gain a lot of traction for him, and for this film, Nai Nai and Waipo. Best live action short, this is a fun one. I agree with the stats here. Wes Anderson wins his very first Oscar for a live action short. It sounds like a quirky Wes Anderson thing to happen. As you probably know, he made a bunch of Roald Dahl adaptations on Netflix, and all of those fit his style and the very short runtime. Foreign films don't usually do that well in this category. So even though I'm rooting for the Danish Knight of Fortune, I don't think it will win. I think that Red, White and Blue could be the surprise here, since it has such a powerful message. So don't rule out that Wes Anderson can miss, even though he is a big name. And finally, Best Picture. After winning the major precursors, BAFTA, SAG Ensemble, DGA, PGA, Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, then you have nothing that can take down the Oppenheimer train. I wondered earlier in January if they had a power of the dog situation, with this early frontrunner being tired at the finishing line and a small darling with a heart of gold could take his place. But who would that be? Anatomy of a Fall? American Fiction? I don't think there's a strong momentum for any of them. Neither for the big players like Poor Things, Barbie or Killers of the Flower Moon. So I've got Oppenheimer in its first place. Then I think if I should rank them in likelihood, I think I have Poor Things, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, American Fiction, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Holdovers, and then the rest with Maestro in the last place. Thank you very much for watching. Do you agree with the predictions? Leave a comment. See you later.